Hey, welcome back to PoAItry. Last time, we got pretty deep into our inner feelings. Today, though, we're grabbing the wheel, taking the helm of our own ship with this incredibly powerful poem, Invictus, by Ernest Henley. So, right from the jump, you get hit with these words. It's a voice coming from some deep, profound darkness. And you can't help but ask, right? Who is speaking from this pit and why? Well, to figure that out, we're actually going to use a super modern tool to get to the heart of this very classic poem. And here it is. This is the whole idea behind the PoAItry project. We use generative AI, but not just as, some fancy illustrator. We treat it like a real visual partner. It helps us see the soul of a poem that's 150 years old in ways the author himself probably couldn't have even dreamed of. But before we let the AI do its thing, we have to understand the man behind the words. All right, let's jump in our time machine. We need to know who wrote these defiant words and what kind of fire they were forged in. Believe me, the answer is just as powerful as the poem. The man's name was Ernest Henley, and those lines you see there? Those are the iconic, unforgettable final lines he wrote way back in 1875. I mean, this is basically the poem's mission statement, right? It's this absolute claim of self-mastery, no matter what. But that begs the question, what was the cost? Okay, so get this. This poem wasn't written in some cozy library with a cup of tea. No, it was written from a hospital bed. Henley was battling this absolutely brutal bone infection. It had already cost him one of his legs. He was in a hospital in Edinburgh, under the care of a pioneering surgeon named Joseph Lister, literally fighting to save his other leg. And it's from that place, a place of total vulnerability, that he writes this anthem to inner strength. And that's what makes this poem such a powerful act of rebellion. The title itself, Invictus, is Latin for unconquered. It's Henley basically screaming that he will not be defeated by his own body. But it's also a reflection of the times, The Victorian era was a period of growing religious doubt. So Henley is kind of saying, hey, if you can't count on a higher power, you've got to count on yourself. You have to be the captain. Okay, so now we have the backstory from 1875. We get the pain, the struggle. Let's fast forward back to today. How can our AI partner actually help us see Henley's unconquerable soul? Well, we gave it a challenge. We asked to interpret the poem through 4 totally different visual lenses. And each of these lenses gives us a totally new angle on what resilience looks like. So first up, we went literal, the captain. A stoic figure at the helm of a ship fighting a storm. Classic. Then we went abstract with the abyss, representing that night that covers me as just a single point of light in the swirling black void. It shows how strength can be this quiet, focused thing. Third, we got metaphorical with the lighthouse. This is the unbowed head standing strong against a storm of, get this, iron chains. And last, we paid homage to the history, the engraving. We asked for an image of fortitude, but done in the style of a Victorian steel engraving, right out of 1875. See? Each one peels back another layer of what it truly means to be unconquered. But here's the thing. Henley's very private, personal declaration, it didn't stay locked away in that hospital room. Nope. The message was just too powerful. It echoed through the decades, and it's found this new, absolutely incredible life on the modern world stage. Think about this contrast. On one hand, you have Henley's lonely battle back in 1875. It's just one man, one voice in a quiet hospital ward. And on the other hand, you have the spirit of the Invictus Games, which kicked off in 2014. It's the exact same message, but it's been transformed from a whisper into this massive communal roar. It's a global celebration of that unconquered spirit, specifically for wounded service personnel. And the scale of it, it's just mind-blowing. That very first Invictus Games in London, it brought together more than 300 competitors from 13 different countries. Henley's intensely personal anthem had officially become a global one. This visual just says it all, doesn't it? You go from the dim, flickering light of a Victorian hospital room to the blazing floodlights of a modern stadium. That right there, that is the legacy of Invictus brought to life. It's a straight, unbroken line from one man's desperate fight to save his leg to the absolutely awe-inspiring power of these athletes. It's the same fire, the same unconquerable soul. So we've gone on quite a journey here, haven't we? From a poem born from incredible pain to seeing it through the eyes of AI and then tracing its echo all the way to today. So for this last part, let's bring it all home. Let's make this about you. Henley saw his unconquerable soul as the captain of a ship. The Invictus athletes show us theirs every time they compete on the court or on the field. So what about you? When life throws its bludgeonings of chance your way, what do you see? What's the image of your own inner strength? What does your unconquerable soul look like?